Greetings and a warm welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is on reacting versus responding, and there is a big difference. Responding comes more from the wise mind, which is a combination of the logical and the emotional mind, whereas reacting either comes from a very emotional place or from a very explosive place. And the idea is to respond instead of reacting, because reactions can cause a lot of permanent outcomes in our lives that we perhaps never wanted or were afraid of happening, and it happened. And when you have had such a rough day and someone cuts you off in traffic, or your spouse starts a fight with you, you become so frustrated, so overwhelmed with emotion that it causes this massive blow up. Now, if you use your wise mind and you rather respond, then you separate yourself from the emotion and you start looking at the situation for what it is, what the context is, what emotions are involved, and what communication needs to be transferred in order for the situation to be resolved. Responding is healthy because responding gives you a few minutes to think about the decision or what you are going to say next. And 95% of the time, when we react out of emotion, when we are angry, upset, hurt, it usually doesn't end up in a good place. Because if you're having a fight with someone, it's first of all extremely emotional. Yes, but I feel you did this. Okay, but I feel that you did that. But once we remove the emotion, we go calm down, we breathe, and we start actually thinking about the problem and not thinking about being against the other person. That's where we can start responding to difficult situations and conflicts. And it also has to do with how we approach things. Because if you approach things in a very emotional way and you quite dysregulated and unstable, then you will make emotional decisions. Then you will react more. And how you approach these things will determine your future outcomes. If you are in a situation where you are highly emotional, but you deal with it in a more practical way, in a less emotional way, then the outcome may not be as bad or as permanent. Because remember, most decisions are permanent. And if we are constantly reacting, we are going to create unfavorable outcomes. And those outcomes, as I said, can be permanent. And that could be very difficult to get out of. And then again, reacting versus responding, it's up to you. It's a choice. Yes, it may seem that you are very upset and very emotional, so it doesn't feel like a choice to explode. It just kind of happens. But that's self-regulation and self-management. Because yes, you are extremely emotional. I understand it's difficult and you have the right to feel what you're feeling. But how you react, how you treat other people, how you treat the situation will determine what outcomes you get from that and whether they will be to your benefit or to your detriment. At the end of the day, it's a choice. You choose how you react and respond. You choose what you say. And if you struggle with this, then focus on increasing self-awareness, regulating emotion, and managing the self. Because it all has to do with self-management. how well you can manage your emotions, manage your thinking, manage your reactions, and how you can act in your own autonomy as a human being who can take accountability and responsibility for themselves, their actions and their words, and how you react and you respond. Because how you manage the self will determine the severity of the situation, because you could make the situation a lot worse than it actually is just by reacting, just by being unable to self-manage. And the thing is, when it comes to responding and reacting, it all has to do with emotional regulation. If you tend to struggle with a lot of mood swings, a lot of volatile emotions, a lot of anger, sadness, depression, and it's very erratic, very unbalanced and imbalanced, and it's very up and down, then you will struggle with your emotional regulation. And emotional regulation is important during conflicts and conflict resolution, and also dealing with situations, circumstances, and challenges. So if you're not able to manage your emotions, you're not able to regulate emotions, you will make these emotional permanent decisions that can affect you for the rest of your life. You might lose someone important just by reacting in an uncontrolled and unmanageable way. And how we respond to circumstance is more important than the circumstance itself. Because, as I said, you can make something a lot worse just by saying something you shouldn't have, by throwing something, by slamming a door, by being disrespectful. And the thing is, it's not an intention. It's never our intention to react out of emotion and cause more pain and cause a situation to be a lot worse than it already is. Because it's not the situation that matters. It's how you deal with it, how you respond to it, whether you choose to react or whether you choose to take a more practical perspective. And remember, responding is a bit different than reacting, because it actually requires a conscious effort to shift behavior. Because it's easy for us to react out of emotion because we are directed by what we feel. So it's easier for us to react, but it actually takes a conscious effort to shift that behavior, to shift not reacting. And that is what self-management is applying that conscious effort to say, okay, I'm extremely angry, but if I throw something, I'm going to make the fight worse. If I yell or if I say the specific thing that can hurt the other person, then the situation is a lot worse than what the conflict or the challenge initially was about. And remember, people respond less to a situation, what the quality of the situation is. And they respond a lot more towards how you interact with them, how you communicate with them during conflicts, how you communicate with them during difficult challenges and difficult times. So how you interact with the person will make a huge difference on your relationship with them and your ability to relate with other people. And reacting versus responding isn't just words. It isn't just yelling. It isn't just crying. It isn't just losing your temper. Reacting could be a non-verbal thing. If someone is sitting with you and saying, listen, I've got this problem with you and I just want to talk and I want to see if we can find a resolution to move forward. And you say, okay, then you are already showing resistance. Then you are already choosing to disconnect. So your behavior and how you react in your behavior towards other people will show them how interested you are, how much respect you have, and how strongly you are committed to the relationship. Remember, responding is healthy and constructive. It helps us learn about people, new experiences, ourselves, and it also teaches us how to self-regulate better and how to self-manage better. And it just reinforces a more positive attitude towards challenges and conflicts. And on the other hand, reacting is very unhealthy. It is very destructive and it can ruin many things in your life. It can cause you to make decisions you never wanted to make. And reacting often makes the situation worse. So remember, yes, it requires a conscious effort, but you don't want to make a permanent decision just because you are upset. You don't want to lose that person just because they hurt you. It's all about how we approach things, the perspective we take, and how we communicate. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.